If inflation continues to ease broadly in line with our forecast, it is reasonable to expect further cuts in our policy.
Remarks from Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem Wednesday after announcing the central bank cut its key interest rate for a second consecutive time. The Bank of Canada lowered its policy rate by 0.25%. It now stands at 4.5%, a promising indication for the country's housing market.
So the Bank of Canada is taking a slow and steady approach to the decrease in interest rates, and we anticipate a slow and steady return of buyer confidence and buyers to the market, particularly in our bigger urban centers like Toronto and Vancouver.
Chief Operating Officer of Royal LePage, Karen Yalewski, says the news is encouraging for home buyers who have long been on the sidelines waiting to get into the market. The central bank began raising its policy rate back in March 2022 in a bid to battle soaring inflation, which peaked at 8.1% in June of that year. The interest rate increase is bringing up borrowing costs for Canadian consumers and businesses and discouraging spending. The result, a cooling housing market.
So there's two camps of buyers that are on the sideline. One camp has been stifled by affordability. They can't qualify for a mortgage with enough funds to buy a home at current rates. So any decrease is going to help them in terms of qualification. There's another camp that's also waiting on the sidelines, one to see where rates go and also to see where prices go.
Professor of Real Estate Management Murtaza Haider says even with this latest cut, it's too soon to expect the housing market to heat up immediately.
It may not mean much for the reason that the rates are still high, and so it will still take some time for the lenders to adjust their rates, but it will certainly not be a big change in a way that would have mass increase in demand.
The Bank of Canada delivered its first interest rate cut in 4 years last month. The central bank's next interest rate decision is scheduled for September 4th. In Toronto, Natividad, City News.